So the first thing I'm going to take is Violet Voss's Best Life palette. I'm going to take the matte orange shade and I'm going to pack it into my crease, and I'm just going to do it in the first half of my crease. And what I'm doing is I'm basically just tapping it on to get the intensity that I want, and then I'm going to take a blending brush and blend out just the top part of it just to make sure there's no harsh lines. And whatever was left on my brush, I kind of just ran it to the end of my eye. And then the blue that I'm going to take, I think it's called Velocity. Everything will be listed in the description box below with the names. I'm going to do the same thing with this blue. It's from Sugar Pill, and I'm going to add it to the outer corner of my eye in my crease. And this color kind of did not mix well when I started blending with that orange, so it kind of got a little muddy looking, but I still had to do it to this eye because I did it to the first eye, which is why it looks a little muddy looking on the other eye. Yeah, I think it was just these two colors just didn't marry very well together. My blending skills have not been on point recently, but I kind of switched after I used this because I wasn't liking the way it came out. I switched to the Marc Jacobs blue, which I probably should have used it from the start because it's just a much more vibrant blue, and it doesn't kind of fade out when you blend it. So I kind of just should have used that in the beginning, but I had to do the same thing I did with the first eye, so it kind of looked the same. So that's just what I did. And then I took a white concealer and I cut that crease. Next palette I'm taking is from BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to take the matte lime green shadow, and I'm just going to put that all over where I put that white concealer. Sorry I'm using so many different palettes. I usually try to do a look with just one palette, but that just didn't work out this time. And then after I did that, I went back in with the Marc Jacobs blue and kind of blended that in the outer corner of my eye. And then after I did that, I took the next color from that same palette, the deeper blue color, and just kind of deepened it up a little bit. This kind of optional, didn't really do much. I'm not sure if they still have this palette available, but if I find it, I will link it. And then for the blue liner, I took this Lancome. I'm not sure the name of it. Again, I will link it, but it's one of my favorite blue liners, and I just added a wing. So the first thing that I'm going to take is this Juno & Co. Moonshine Miracle Cream. This is going to help moisturize, prime, and it also, it's like a thicker, well, you can't even see it. It's like a thicker cream. It's going to help, I'm going to put this in the center of my face, I guess, in like my T-zone, and especially around my nose because it does help fill in pores. It's really thick, but I like it because it doesn't leave you, it doesn't feel thick, and it doesn't leave you feeling like greasy or anything. And then I'm going to use the Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage Foundation. Really been liking this one lately, but I am going to mix a couple of drops of the LA Girl Pro Coverage Concealer. Just a couple of drops just to thin it out just a little bit. I'm going to use this Smashbox Powder Foundation brush. I've never used it. Never actually used this brush for a liquid foundation, but ooh, I do like it. I like this brush because in the center it's kind of a little bit more fuller, so it kind of packs it on a little bit more full coverage, but on the outside of the brush it's kind of like a dual fiber one, so it blends it out really nice. And then my favorite part, I'm going to cover up these bad boys under my eyes, and I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. I'm using the color 10N Coconut Flakes, and I don't really like the tip of it, so I'm going to use my Sigma Angled Pixel Concealer F69, which is my favorite brush, concealer brush. I think I have like 6 of these brushes. Love it. Does anybody buy from Sigma anymore? I personally their brushes are my absolute favorite, and a lot of their products are my favorite actually. I just don't see anybody using them anymore. and I just don't know why. For some reason, I think they changed their affiliate program, so I don't think people are like getting paid as much. I don't know if that's why people don't use them anymore, but I personally really like their stuff, and I'm not getting paid. This sponge is also from Juno & Co. It'd be good for foundation because it blends. It's a microfiber sponge and it blends out really nicely, but it's just too big for around the eyes and stuff. I didn't think it was gonna get this big. I'm going to take my Laura Mercier setting powder and set that. I'm gonna take a smaller sponge though. What I like to do is I kind of like, since I didn't use it, kind of like to tap some powder on my sponge first so it doesn't take off any product under my eyes. And then I'm gonna set that. Not baking, just setting. Tapping it on and then pushing it into the skin. Whatever's left on my brush, I just like to put on my forehead. For bronzer, I'm going to take the Marc Jacobs Tantastic Omega Bronzer. I got these Smashbox brushes a while back, but I just took some of them out that I knew that I was going to like, and I just went through some of my stuff and found a bunch of them, and I really like them, so I'm gonna try this one. What is this for anyway? Sheer powder. Yep, I like this brush. For blush, I guess I'll take this Morphe 9B palette. I'm gonna use this color right here very lightly. It doesn't have a name. For highlighter, I can't remember if I like these or not. They're the Milani Strobe Light highlighters. This is 07 Summer Glow. Can't remember if I like these, but I'm gonna try it. And I'm going to use a Smashbox angled powder brush. I'm using all the brushes for something totally different. This is a really good highlighter brush though. They're not super pigmented, but they are pretty. This is a good highlighter brush. Before I finish my eyes, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Milani's setting powder. It's the banana one. And clean up a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of the darker blue color, but these do have a little bit of fallout, so you can be careful. Putting that close to my lash line. I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna blend anything else under it. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Did I use this one? I'm gonna take the Makeup Forever M22 brush and just put that in my waterline. It's a blue. I'm gonna use this Makeup Forever 600 pencil to line my lips. And then I'm going to use Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in Gotta Light. Such a pretty nude color.